Yeah, so hello. The talk is starting. Everyone can come forward if they have time. Yeah. Screen is visible. Can you like read the lines or not? Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Tomorrow we have a better one.
Okay. Here, can you read this or not?
It looks a little blurry.
Maybe you can share the slides in the Discord.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing that now. Wait a second. Okay. I share in the group. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Here, right? Here, right? Okay. Got it? Got the slides? I have shared in Discord.
In general or
General, yeah.
in OpenCity? I just shared it in announcement.
I can't. Okay. But you guys got it, right? Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Shashank, and the talk that I'm giving, this like practical private voting, my aim here is to like explain how someone can use the basic values that blockchain provides in this world and solve real world problems with help of that. So we would be seeing like how we are using like ZK in some real world a real world application like voting with the help of a case study. So all the other talks here, like most of the talks here would be quite technical, including like maths and all. My aim here is to do something different where you guys are able to like see how you can use that technology to solve a problem that exists in the world and create some value. And I would be the best way to do that in my opinion is through a case study with like, for example, I am working on a project called PriVote, which is like private on-chain voting, which uses ZK stack, etc. So you guys would be able to see like what was the problem, and then how we tried to solve that, what were the hurdles, and how did we reach the current solution. Yeah. So yeah, let's start with the problem. Also, I tend to speak quite fastly. So if it happens, just remind me to become slow. I'll try not to do that. Okay. So the problem. So the problem is voting. So in any case, I would be giving an example of election. So I don't know of other places, but I come from India, and in India, like the way the elections are held is through EVM, and this is not like Ethereum EVM. This is electronic voting machine. And so everyone goes on the election day, and there is a voting machine where they have to go and choose the party that they want to vote. They click on that button, and then that gets fed. Then what happens at the end is, like, when the results come, whoever loses, they go and blame that EVM was like compromised the winning party, which has won, tried to buy the votes, and there is no way to prove anyhow that was that the case or not. Why? Because the code in which EVM runs, on which that EVM runs, is written by a centralized company. It's not at all open source, and it's like that company that finally tallies all the votes. So you are completely trusting that party for everything. So even if they are legit, there is no way to prove that. So then like if anyone can come and claim like we lost because of that, and there is no way to verify if that's true or not. And then the second problem comes of anti-collusion. So there is a, like in most countries, the votes are there is a problem of buying the votes, and it is more prevalent, as I see, in India. So because there are villages where like people are not that do not know much things, so like the politicians just go there and just pay to buy the vote. They do not even know how the election process works, etc. So if you pay someone, they would go to the they would just say, okay, go and click on that symbol. They would just go and do that, and there is no way to prevent that, because sometimes it also comes down to like hijacking the whole polling booth. So you just hijack the whole polling booth, and you do not allow the officers to do what they do. You tend to bribe, you just bribe them to go away, and then you come in and just keep on clicking those buttons just to get the vote. So, and there's no way to verify that, because at the end of the day, it is just your vote that would be counted, and no way to verify, because there is one centralized party doing everything. There is no way to verify whether it was done with correct intent or not. So these are the problems with traditional election system that I told you, and these are the same problems with any other voting that you do on traditional Web2 interfaces. You can think of something as simple as holding a poll on WhatsApp or Telegram. On that case also, you are trusting that authority for like all the results, etc. And that is more of a minor case. Think of something like Polymarket, where like whenever like there is a certain percentage involved, okay, so the main use of Polymarket comes, you go and tend to get the sentiment of what is going on, but at the end you are trusting an oracle, which is like a single authority Polymarket, which is putting the final results on chain, right? So this comes down to, and same in DAO voting. So everything is like the problem is there is a centralized authority that is doing everything, and you cannot trust that with all the thing that is being done in voting process. So how do we solve that? So the solution to that in initial days was blockchain, the actual Ethereum virtual machine, EVM. So EVM solved this problem where everything is public. So once you write a smart contract for a voting, for a vote or for a poll, it goes on chain, it can't be tampered. So it is like you write the code, anyone can go and see the code that is being written. So there is no like fishy thing going on in backside. You can go and verify that on chain by looking at the bytecode. Second thing, there is no single authority which is doing something so that that can go and tweak the votes that you did and just publish a different result. They can't do that because there are multiple nodes running throughout the world, and they would have to get the majority consensus so as to change anything on the chain. So the blockchain tried to solve that problem. So tamper-proof records, on someone goes and votes, everyone can go and see, okay, this is a transaction in which you voted for this option. So that is verifiable. You cannot fake that, and you cannot change that once that transaction is gone. Decentralized verification. This means like there is not a single authority that is verifying or tallying all the results. There are many different authorities that are doing that, and you would need a consensus which is very difficult to obtain with these many nodes. And it is completely transparent. Anyone can go on chain and see what happened throughout the voting duration. I, at the end of the result, can go and see and verify whether my vote was counted as I intended or not. So these are the problems that get solved with the help of blockchain. So at starting, when like smart contract came, everyone was like, wow, we are solving an actual real world problem with the help of blockchain. Let's start doing that. But then again, next problem came as soon as we went on chain with polling, and it then got limited to DAOs, only like the on-chain activity. The polling was done only on the like on-chain activities like governance on DAOs, etc. Why? So the thing was the properties of blockchain that help us to solve the problem, which was like it is public, anyone can go and verify, also introduced another problem, which was that anyone can go and see your vote. So if you think of a general election where you are voting for someone, everyone doesn't go and announce, okay, I voted for that party. That is not feasible in real life. So that came as a bottleneck now. Okay, we got all the trust benefits. It's completely trustless and decentralized. But now for that we had to compromise the privacy. So anyone can go and see whom I voted for. And this becomes more problematic in DAO governance as well. So there, in big like companies, sometimes what happens is like there is no consensus among them whether we should do something, whether we should go for this goal or not, and everyone don't want to go and announce to everyone, okay, I do not support this proposal, although maybe it is his friend who is coming up with that proposal, right? So if you are doing on-chain governance in DAOs and some proposal come for a DAO to vote on, many times people are reluctant to go and vote just because they do not want to tell everyone what their choice is. Right, so it introduced another problem because it is completely public. Anyone can go and see whom you voted for, and many times it was the case that people do not want to tell everyone whom they voted for. And in real world election, it is not at all feasible if you are asking everyone to go and announce whom they voted for. So that comes as a problem. And then second problem was of bribery. So we started to try to solve the problem of bribery, but that didn't got solved with blockchain and became more prevalent. How? So you can do bribery in a verifiable and programmatic way with the help of blockchain. How you can do that is, okay, I want you to vote for me. I would pay you certain amount to vote for me. I do not even have to pay you now. I can write a smart contract, a simple logic where I would see only if you voted for me, then only you would be able to receive that money. So I can completely verify whether if I am giving you money, you are voting for me, then only you would be able to receive that money, or otherwise not. So this opened a whole market where people come and like give money for you to vote on certain proposal or not, and it's completely like we started to try to solve that problem, and we made it more prevalent because everything is public and anyone can go and verify whether you did that or not and then pay you. So now with blockchain, these were the problems that became prevalent, and there was a need to make things private so that we can solve this problem. Then there is this solution which is developed by PSE, which is MASI, the minimal anti-collusion infrastructure, and this is like how it works is with the help of zero knowledge. So everything is on chain, everything is EVM compatible, can be deployed on like any EVM compatible chain. But when you vote, your actual vote doesn't go on chain, but it gets encrypted with your key pair. So there is a ZK key pair that is derived from your wallet signature, and so there is a public and private key. As soon as you go and vote for a certain option, that vote, whom you are voting for, gets encrypted with your public private key and goes on chain. So now on chain, what anyone can go and see is a gibberish value. They would not be able to see whom you voted for. Only you would be able to see whom you voted for because you would have that key pair. So you yourself get that verification thing that blockchain provides. So you can anytime go and verify whether my vote went to the correct person or not. But other person cannot go and see whom you voted for. So this is how we they try to solve that problem of everything is public. Now this also somehow solve the problem of bribery. How? So now think of a case when someone wants to bribe you to vote for me. So I would go to a person and say, okay, I'm giving you like 100K or something, just vote for my proposal. You would say yes, but now he cannot go and verify whether you voted for the option which he wanted or not. And even more so because the main aim of this infra was to provide anti-collusion infrastructure, there are ways where you can just take that money and vote in front of that person, go and vote for that option, then you can go home and then you can change your vote, and that person would in like no way able to know whether you change that vote or not. So this is making like bribery completely unfeasible, because no one can go, even if you take the money, you would not be able to verify whether the vote went your way or not. So even if someone comes and bribes you, this would be very less incentivizing for them to keep on bribing, because one day or another people would know that they are voting for the real one you want or something else. So this is how we tried, Massey tried to solve those problems. So now we have a whole infra where you can deploy a polling smart contract on any chain, any EVM compatible chain. You can go and vote, hold general polls on top of that, and it is completely verifiable. What happens at the end when the poll is completed is there is a whole we name it as coordinator, who would decrypt all the votes and then publish the combined result on chain, and it is like proof verification. So whole tallying works off chain, but you have to verify those proofs on chain with that. That is how the basic things of ZK. And then so you cannot tamper with those votes. Even if coordinator wants, he cannot tamper or change with that vote, because those proofs would not get verified on chain. So everything still remains trustless, and we have now also included privacy on the whole flow. So yeah, this was good. So when I studied about Massey, I was like, okay, now we have solved everything. Now this should be everyone should use that. Why is not everyone using that? So now I went and I started exploring it. Okay, I want to use this infrastructure for doing polls like in my college or something. How do I do that? And then I realized it's not easy. So a typical problem with most of the Web3 or blockchain solution is as soon as you try to solve those critical problems, it tend to go more and more complex, such that a normal person who doesn't have much developer knowledge can't go and use that. So for me, when I tried to use the Massey infrastructure, it was you have to deploy 10 contracts. There is no UI through which you can do that. You have to go and study all the docs of how to do that, what are the different terms, which I have to go and search those terms in dictionary to know what they could have been could mean there. And then it was whole 1 week after studying all that, I was able to do a simple poll, and then when I tried to go and compile the result, it failed. Then I realized, okay, there is a mistake that I did not knew about. So it is too complex for anyone who wants to use that. I realized that problem. Okay, so we have to make it easy. It is something as simple as poll. In WhatsApp or in Telegram, when you want to have poll, you just click on poll and you put in options, and you are able to hold that poll. It should be that easy to do that. I should not be going and reading 10 page, 100 pages docs and then trying various solution, debugging errors just to hold something as simple as poll. So this was a major entry barrier that I found. So I thought, okay, let's try to solve that problem. But even after that, even after you solve those problems, there are typical problems which you interact with blockchain, which is for example, gas fee. So if anyone wants to interact with the whole flow, they need to have tokens in a certain chain, in a certain wallet, so as to interact with that. First, the major friction that comes for Web2 users is they do not even have a wallet. So you need a wallet. So all these are the problems, a barrier to entry of something good that has been made, such as Massey, which can be used for everyday elections, everyday polls, and just provides value. There is no trade-off. If someone wants to change their infra to Massey, there is no trade-off that you are going through except these entry barriers. You are just getting privacy for free, right? So we try. Now the other problem came. Okay, now we have to reduce this barrier of entry. So that is where this Privote, that is the application that I built, comes into the picture. So what is the aim of Privote? So what are the problems that we are trying to solve? First of all, poll should be very easy to make. It should not tell you 10 different things to do just to create a poll. You should be able to just go, put the title, put the option, and create poll, and be able to share with whoever you want to vote, whomever you want to share that poll with. So we did that. We made an application which is privote.live, which is live at privote.live. You can go, you can just click on create poll, you can put in the options, and you can just create a poll in few clicks. It's a general poll that you would do on Telegram. Then there was the problem of wallet. Okay, now not everyone has wallet. How do we solve that? So we were sort of lucky on that part, because EIP 7702 got merged recently. So that problem gets solved with the help of smart wallets. So there's like Paradigm has been working on like this embedded wallet called Porto, which is also like sort of EOA, and with the help of EIP 7702 you can sponsor the gas for them. It is so easy, like you can log in with any passkey. So with your mobile passkey or with your email, you can go and log in with that. I am happy, like if someone is happy, for example, in the case of election, government would be happy to sponsor gas for you. Not everyone would have to go and put in their like funds in their wallet, and even if they have to, it should be very easy. So now the flow, how it works in Porto is, if you go and create a poll on mainnet, as soon as there would be a transaction involved, it would just ask you to go to Apple Pay and just top up $1, something as small as that, in two clicks, and you would get the gas fee on your wallet. And this is the flow where no one wants to sponsor your gas. So we wanted to make that quite easy as well. So you just go and click on like add $1 and you get all the gas fee for all the interaction, if someone doesn't even want to sponsor your gas. If someone wants to sponsor your gas, you should not even have to do that. Then comes the problem of like how do we like integrate identity with polling. So because it is like the identifier here is the wallet, like the wallet with you would go and vote, and you can create practically infinite wallet. There is no like limitation of how many wallets you can create. How do we solve that problem? So it is easy to solve on like blockchains entity. You can like, so what we did is what we integrated few gatekeepers, we call them. So if you have certain NFT, you can go and vote. If you have certain amount of ERC20 token, you can go and vote. You have certain above Gitcoin threshold, like Gitcoin passport threshold, you can go and vote. So we integrated a lot of gatekeepers there, and the next thing for us is to integrate Web2 gatekeepers. So this was the problem that we realized as you go on to hold polls in Web2 world. So I went to a college and I had, okay, I am providing you a solution where you would be able to hold private votes, which is good for you because in college, so I realized in college also there is like college politics where people don't want to tell everyone whom they voted for, and at the end if there is only single person who is going to tell the same problem that we were trying to solve from starting, those problems existed there and they wanted to solve that. Then I said, okay, we have a solution called Messi that we are building, you can use that. And then we realized we can't use that. Why? Because everything is on chain, and the way polls are done in college level is through your email. Like if you have the email with that ending, like that domain, then only you should be able to go and vote. And there is no on-chain identifier to do that. Then we have started looking into solution. A solution for that might be ZK email. So with ZK email, you can integrate various gatekeepers such that if you attended certain Luma event, you can come and vote. If you went to certain conference, you can go and vote. And for example, if in DevCon, if you have that Zoo pass, you can go and vote. So these are the next thing that we are trying to do. And the last and most important thing, it is universal polling. So once you deploy a smart contract, EVM is global. You can share the link to anyone, and if he is eligible, they can go and vote. So this is like the whole pipeline. We started with a problem of trust. Blockchain came as a solution to that problem of trust and verifiability that you get with blockchain native concepts. But then another problem was introduced, which was everything is public. So bribery came into the picture. Anyone can go and see your vote. Those two problems came into the picture. Then we solved those problems with the help of ZK. Even after solving that problem with the help of ZK, there were many things that were hurdles between solving that problem and making that reach the market that anyone can use that. Then we try to solve that problem of accessibility with the help of great UX. So this is my opinion, is the whole pipeline of how you can go from a problem to a solution. You should see a problem which like blockchain native concept solves, and you should be able to make a whole pipeline or solve a different sections of these pipelines so as to make a what we call a good product for using everything. Yeah. So all the thing that I talked about is live, so you can go and check it on privote.live. And we also have if you guys know Gitcoin round going on privacy. So we intentionally did that on Privote, so you can go and vote there. So there are many like For example, Invisible Garden is also an applicant, Privote is an applicant, I think zkemail and Tor, etc. Many good privacy projects are an applicant, and the only threshold there is like if you have 20 plus Gitcoin score, which is like if you have done few transactions on mainnet, you would have that. You can go and vote, and you can see what whatever I have been talking about. You in this the Gitcoin now doesn't currently have those like Porto wallet integrated, so you would need to have that wallet. But in Privote.live you can like basically open it on your phone, you can log in with your email, you can create a poll using Messi, you can share it with your friends and ask them to vote, and you can publish a result in like 1 hour or so. So we have tried to, like whatever I have been saying, we have been trying to do that with the help of Privote. And let me know if you have you face any problem or face any issues. So yeah, that was all, and I am happy to answer any questions if you guys have. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. I have a question in terms of identity.
Yeah.
You mentioned the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess for example, in a country selection, the gatekeeper could be like the institution that gives like the document or whatever.
Yeah, it is there. So
yeah, but you mentioned also like Gitcoin passport, NFTs. I believe that most of on-chain identity solutions currently are based in on-chain activity. So basically unless you go to, for example, World or something like that, Circles, you cannot really be sure that it's only one person who is participating. So how do you, what kind of gatekeepers do you think you need to add to the system to be sure about
that? So we have added one. So the first one, it would not be visible, it is an Aadhaar. So in India, we have an identity card, universal identity card, that every citizen has just one, which is Aadhaar card. We call it Aadhaar card, and that is currently integrated in Privote. So you can choose that gatekeeper. So like in an ideal flow, how it would happen is like, you have to come up with your Aadhaar card, we would scan that QR code, and then only you would be able to vote once. So there is one gatekeeper that is live for India, it would only work on India, but we are looking forward to do more of that. There are many solutions that I have looked. For example, the Provable is working on some good flows of like actual passport, like not Gitcoin passport, having identity with that passport. There are few solutions with like signature, etc. that you can do that. We are looking into that. We have not yet like finalized more of gatekeepers, but another is one that is working. Another thing that I already told was ZK email. So a very you can say hacky solution to that could be ZK email. So you ask the authority, like for example, in a small locality, you ask the authority to send a certain email to everyone whom they want to vote, and you can just make you can add that as a gatekeeper with the help of ZK email, that if someone has received that email, then only he can come and vote. So that is a hacky workaround to that, but best way would be doing something like an Aadhaar for every country. Yeah.
Doing something like the card.
Like an Aadhaar for every country. So an Aadhaar only works in India. So Aadhaar card is national identity of India, and you can like do that on Privote. If you have one Aadhaar, you can vote only once. And we also held a quadratic voting round in India, which was quite successful using that. But that only works in India. We need if that start working in other countries as well, that would be great.
Just to make a continuation.
Yeah.
Like for example, in Mexico, as
yeah.
I understand, in some point, the institution that was meant to give the cards, you say, was actually like not working. So in some way that becomes a new centralized, trusted like point of failure.
Yeah.
Because if the gatekeeper is controlled by the state, and the state don't provide that gatekeeping pass.
Yeah.
I know that like obviously on-chain solutions can help with that, but I haven't seen any that actually does it.
Yeah, I completely agree. So you are trusting that like government or like the authority for those things. But the thing is like, who is this solution for? This solution is for them only. So for government to hold polls. So this is a good assumption that you can make, like they would not be compromising themselves. If they want to hold polls on chain in this way just to increase trust, then they should just like issue one identity for everyone, and they should do that correctly. In India it is. So in India, so for example, in Mexico, I think it would be that way, but in India Aadhaar card works, and it is like even you can do something like only Aadhaar card issued in last 10 minutes would be able to vote. They give you control something as specific as that. So it works in India, and there is no like a person could not have two Aadhaar cards, because that is linked with their fingerprints and all. So it is something that already existed, and we integrated that on PriVote. So they themselves use that for their regular purpose. So that is the only identity card that you use for KYC etc. in India. So that already existed, and we use that for voting as well. So that is a unique identity. But yeah, if like the government gets compromised and they start like issuing 10 different fake identity cards anyone can give and use, then that is a problem. Yeah.
I have a question on the implementation with Aragon.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Actually, I do not have much context on that, because I was working on PriVote. That like this Massey is developed by PSC team. I think few folks from PSC would be there. They did the whole Aragon integration. I was not completely included in that. But if it is something simple, maybe I can answer that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw in the post that at this moment Macy works as a trusted coordinator entity with Aragon specifically. So Macy or PCE is able to decrypt the votes at this point.
Yeah.
As you were saying, like this is also like a kind of single point of failure.
No, yeah, okay, let me explain that, good point. So, so the coordinator would be able to decrypt your, because he would be publishing the final results. So what I mean by no one would be able to see your votes is that no one would be, like anyone going and seeing the blockchain would not be able to see your vote. But at the end of the voting, coordinator would be able to decrypt your votes and publish that. Now this is not a single point of failure. Why? They could not tamper anything, because everything like your encrypted votes go on chain, and then at the end of the day they would have to generate proofs to post the results back on chain, and if they try to tamper those proofs would not get verified on chain. So they cannot tamper with votes, but yeah, they can see the votes. That is a problem. So a problem that comes there is like if they collude with those like people who want to bribe, then that's a problem, because then they can go and say to someone, okay, you gave bribe to that person to vote for this, but he did not do that, right? So that is a problem that exists right now in Massey. So currently we are in Massey v3, but we are going to solve that in Massey v4, and way we are going to do that is like what would happen then is like the coordinator would be able to see the votes. He would be able to see, okay, one vote went for option A, second vote went for option B, but he would not be able to link that with a particular address. So he would not be able to see who voted for whom, but he would be able to see who got the vote. He would be able to see who got the vote. So that would get solved in the next version. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. What's your opinion about like private voting projects using FHE?
Using?
FHE, Fulham Often Encryption.
I have not like looked much into that, so I do not have much context around like private voting application using FHE. A good thing about this flow was, in my opinion, everyone uses EVM compatible infrastructure. Most of the chains are EVM compatible. You can just go, like if you try to use PriVote, so you can just go and do that on one click. And most of the solution that I was seeing with FHE, either like it was like there is a certain server that you need running for certain like process in the whole flow, or it's not like scalable to any chain. You can do it on any chain. It's not like generalizable. You have to use their stack to do that. So that was a bottleneck, but that like it doesn't matter on a long run. If people are able to solve that problem in a verifiable way, then it should ideally work. But I have not seen much of that application in, like for example, in GG, like even in GG24, all other domains rounds are public voting. only the privacy round is being done privately with the help of this, and we did that. So I have not seen much application on that front. Yeah.
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 Because like using Messi,
Yeah.
we need to like, of course, we always need to trust in like any aspect of the flow. We need to trust.
Yeah.
Like using Messi, we need to trust this off-chain tally, right?
Off chain what?
The off-chain tally of the voters.
Coordinator. You mean coordinator?
Sorry.
I do not.
Like, when we have all the votes, we need to like do
Yeah.
these.
Yeah.
And we need to trust this off-chain part
Yeah.
to calculate the votes, right?
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Agreed. So you have to trust the coordinator that he would publish the result. He cannot tamper with the result. But yeah, you are trusting the, like, if someday coordinator thinks, okay, I would not publish the result in eternity, then you are stuck. Like you are trusting the coordinator just for this particular thing. There is no other trust involved. Like he cannot tamper with anything in the whole flow. He cannot change any vote. He cannot do anything on that flow. Only thing that you are trusting him is that he should go and publish the result. He cannot change any of the vote. So the trust involved is very minimal here. But it is like you are trusting them that they would go and publish the result, which is like not that big of an issue in case of real elections, if you see, because election commission itself wants to publish the result, so there is no incentive for them to not publish the result, right? So they would go and publish the result. And another way that we try to solve that was with the help of staking. So if it is a very important poll, what you do is anyone who is holding that poll would have to come and stake something like 0.1 ETH, and if he do not publish the results in like 1 week after the poll ended, he would be slashed and given to voter. That would be slashed and given to voters. So that was a workaround, but that is the only minimal trust that gets involved. There is no other trust factor involved there. Yeah.
Nice. Because like we have like today a top project that does private voting.
Yeah.
Dude, what was the name?
Yeah.
The name, using like only ZK private voting.
Yeah.
What's the name?
What is the name of what?
The project.
My project.
No, like cutting edge project, using that does private voting. It's like Messi's, the Messi platform doesn't exist anymore, right?
Yeah.
And then
but the private is sort of massive platform now.
But the Messi is still working, right?
Still in develop. No. What do you mean by still working?
Like, people are maintaining, right?
People are.
Maintaining the
Yeah. PSC is doing that. Yeah. PSC is
only
working.
the Messi platform that doesn't exist. So.
Yeah. So Messi platform doesn't exist, but private is now a Messi platform sort of.
Yeah. It's Messi.
Yeah.
It's on top of Messi. Right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Hi.
You could actually not rely on an administrator. If you have, for example, 2 candidates you vote for, and let each candidate count their own votes. The candidate has a vested interest to publish their own votes, and therefore they cannot cheat.
Yeah, but
and they cannot double count them because there are nullifiers there.
Yeah, but we are trying to solve that problem only where we do not want to reveal whom anyone voted for. Right? If you ask every individual to publish his own result, he would reveal whom he is voting for. Right? We are trying to solve that problem only.
Why would he reveal?
Because he would say, okay, I voted for this option, right?
Oh, he can publish a vote that nobody recognizes what it is.
Yeah, but then if no one recognizes it, at the end someone would have to decrypt it and see whom he voted for.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can have a counting system.
That is what coordinator is.
Where, yes, but I'm coordinator for my own voting for my own interest. The adversary counts their own, and we basically have no idea, and the process basically counts on its own and nullifies what's counted. They don't know who voted, who nullified. At the end, they have some kind of a result, and I say, I have 1,000 votes. And I publish mine, not knowing anything about it. And everybody does their own thing.
But the thing is, who would do that calculation of summing? Like everyone publishes their own result, but someone would have to go and decrypt and then do the sum of all the votes for every option.
Say I'm a candidate for some political
Yeah. Okay. Party.
function,
Yeah.
and I count the votes.
Yeah.
And I publish my own votes only.
Okay. So you are saying option. You are saying options. Every option count votes for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Basically, everybody repeats the same process.
yeah. But that.
Except I have no interest to not publish my votes. So I publish as much as I can at a watermark.
But yeah, then there is another problem. If you are winning, then only you are incentivized to publish those results. If you would, because it is first of all, you would be able to see the result off chain, then you would have to go and publish it on chain. If you see in the off chain result that okay, I'm losing, you would not go and publish it, right?
I always want to publish mine.
Why? If someone before you published and you then compile your result and you saw, okay, I'm getting less votes than him, I would not publish
Okay,
it.
then of course, I don't need, I'm losing at that time. I can just drop it, give up.
Yeah, but then all the results would not go live, right?
No, the winner, the winner's
Yeah,
results
so yeah, you are saying that whoever published the result, you decide winners among them only, right?
Yeah, the winner publishes their own. The winner publishes, I'm the winner. And so someone else,
Yeah, okay.
Just give up.
Yeah, this is
Because they can't challenge
yeah, agreed. So
I actually have a hack that solves this.
okay.
I can send it to you.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, there is a problem here. The problem is you are giving authority to decrypt vote to more to more people. Like as of now, there is one coordinator who is organizing the poll who has that
more
authority.
overhead,
Yeah. Now the number. If you like, for example, when we did if you are doing a QV round, you have 300 projects. You have now 300 authority that you have to trust that you have to include on chain. Then they should be able to publish that results. And that stack is not what Massey does right now. It just trusts one coordinator as of now, which would also go in future versions. But yeah, this is a different way we can go if we want to. Yeah.
And also on a second topic,
Yeah.
this voting is on chain.
Yeah.
Let's say, take the fastest blockchain now, Solana.
Yeah.
And
It's EVM compatible, so not
put
Solana.
put a referendum of India or China
Yeah.
for
Agreed.
a president, and Solana will probably go down for a few years
Yeah.
to complete the referendum. Any other blockchain is not even in discussion.
Agreed.
So this is pretty much only good for DAOs or for small
For
organizations.
smaller scale elections. So yeah, I thought about that. I've thought about that. Even first of all, Solana could not work because this is EVM compatible. So only EVM chains would work, and EVM checks are worse than Solana on those type of things. So yeah, I understand your point, but a hacky solution around that is rather than. So way the elections happen is not universal. Especially I can tell you about India. It is every small even a city has 10 constituencies, and voting happens in every constituency you choose for your constituency leader, and that is very small. So for every constituency you can deploy a poll and then they can go and vote, and that would not be having 1.4 or 1.5 billion people coming and
delegated.
yeah. So you for every constituency would have at max you can take 100k or something 50k voters, and you hold a poll for them, you get a result, and you get the result of that constituency.
And then you back to the broken United States delegate system.
Yeah,
That's-
I'm not much aware of US, but in India it happens like that. So every constituency has a winner, and then those winners go and decide who would be the leader of the whole country. So that can be done in a way. But yeah, if you want to hold a poll where 1.4 billion people are coming and voting on a single time, that I don't think when it would get feasible. I think someone was working on that problem. There was a I do not remember the name. There was there is a new blockchain just for private voting that is being spun off, and they are taking these things into consideration, the scale and all those type of things. That might be able to solve that problem.
On-chain, this is never going to work.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think they are on chain. Maybe they would have made some different compromises to do that, but they are basically, because that is a chain for voting, they are trying to solve those problems just for voting.
If you like, I have a hack. It's called Billion ZK Voters.
Yeah,
I
I would love to talk to you.
I can
Yeah.
present it in 5 minutes. Or,
Yeah, sure.
At opportunity. Not
Yeah,
now.
sure.
If you like.
Yeah, sure. I'll talk to you. Yeah.
Hi, question. Is that solution applicable for a voting system based on game theory?
Can you repeat once?
Is that applicable for a voting system based on game theory, where we basically want to reward those who vote as a majority?
No. So you are talking about incentivization, right? Like how do we incentivize people to come and vote? Is that what you are talking about?
How?
Are you talking about how to incentivize people to come and vote?
No, exactly. In a voting system based on game theory, the idea is to reward those who vote as a majority. So in this case, the voting should be private for a while, but after the voting is complete, it should be revealed to the public for reward the judges, for example, and the external people being able to audit those rewards.
Okay.
Do you think that could be applicable?
Yeah, that can be done, but that has not been done yet. But that can be done very easily. So you are saying that okay, yeah. So after a poll has been published, just reveal the results, so we can basically ask give some rewards to voters on basis of that. Yeah, that can be done, but that has not been done yet. But yeah, that another way. So for example, in Gitcoin, we were thinking on some, because we do not know what someone is voting for, whether someone can go and just vote 00000 for everyone, and there is no way for us to see whether it was 0 or whether it was 10 or 90. So what we were thinking of there is what we can see is whether someone voted or not. We can just see that, and on that basis we decide some rewards. But yeah, it would not consider whether you voted for the winning party, or that is the problem that we are trying to solve. But yeah, that can be done after the results are published. If coordinator want, he can publish the results on chain. Just to reward the people whether they voted, and that brings into the picture again the prediction market thing. So in prediction market, the main use case of those has to become to get the market sentiment, right? You go and check which model would be the highest rated model at the end of 2025. You can go and see, okay, it's Google, so it's mean Google model is best. I would go and use that. That has become the use case of more of this poly market and prediction markets, right? With private or with private voting, you can until the result comes, you would not be able to see what is the sentiment. But after the result comes, if you want to award the people who voted for the winning party, you would go and publish the result and then you award them. Yeah, that can be done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. No one else, right? Fine. Thank you. I don't know what happened. What?